structured query language, SQL. Sometimes people call it SQL. You can call it SQL or you can call it SQL. That's not a problem, but it is structured query language. In quiz, sometimes I give MCQ, multiple choice question. What stands for SQL? You must write structured query language. If you write standard query language, structured question language, it will not work. The exact word is structured query language. What is SQL? SQL is a common standard language for database. So it is a structured query language, which means some commands which works to extract data, to create database, to modify database. If you want to do anything with database, this is a common database language. Why I say common language? Because if you learn SQL, that will work in Oracle. At the same time, it will work in Microsoft SQL Server or MySQL or Ingress, Sybase, DBase. There are so many, Foxbase. There are so many databases in the world. All the database will support this query language, SQL. So in my class, whoever you are now, please memorize SQL, structured query language. Okay. So what exactly we are going to learn in this course? We are exploring the basic comments and functions of SQL. So if you become in future, if you become a database expert, database administrator, or if you do a job which your designation is database, you must work with SQL, this thing. But if you are not an employee in the field of database, you are a developer, you are a programmer, you are a designer, also you need to know this SQL commands, because while you are writing computer program in Python, in Java, you have to embed SQL commands into your program, because in your program you need to deal with the databases. So database concepts will help you to understand, to become a database professional, or if you want to be a computer programmer, or even if you want to be a security expert, then also this SQL command will help you. How to use SQL data administration, data manipulation, and query. The most important part is, if I have a database, if I need to know some information, SQL is the way I'm going to ask. So SQL, the name stands for structured query language. Query means question. This is a language which helps us to ask question into the database, which means from a database we can extract data by using these commands. There are many theories. I'm just uh, skipping it, and this slide I will share into the Google Classroom, at the same time our Moodle BLC, so that you can refer later on. You can just go through. I will explain only the part which is we need to discuss and we need to understand. In SQL, there are different type of language. Sometimes you will find short form DDL, data definition language. Data definition language means some SQL commands which is used to define database. If you want to create a table, if you want to create an index, if you want to create a view, if you want to modify, if you want to build something, if you want to create something in database, that is called data definition language. And data manipulation language means SQL commands which are used to create a table, which is used to update, modify, change, or sometimes the retrieving data. So creating something, those commands are called DDL, data definition language. Other than that, whatever we have, in general, we called data manipulation language. In different database books, it defines differently. Mostly it categorized in 4 types. DDL is same, but for DML, they have divided into different parts. For the time being, we just remember only 2: data definition language, data manipulation language. The SQL commands which are used to create table, which are used to create index, which creates to use views. This is called data definition language. And all other commands which helps us to insert, update, modify, delete, or extracting data from the database are called DML, data manipulation language. So it has basic some basic commands. Today we'll learn few and we'll continue in the next classes. As in the first class, I told you that in our syllabus we have SQL. In the midterm exam, there will be questions from SQL. The final exam, there will be some more questions from SQL. So SQL is a topic which we will cover the whole course. But relational algebra we have learned and we will discuss little more again. But questions from relational algebra will come in the midterm only. No question from relational algebra will be asked in the final exam, remember. And SQL is designed or approved by ANSI. ANSI means American National Standard Institute. So you need to remember this abbreviation also, ANSI. ANSI means American National Standard Institute. As you can see on the screen, there are so many commands. Create schema, authorization, create table with not null, unique, primary key. We will learn all all the commands. Create index, create view, all the table, create table as drop table. We'll learn each and every one. This list will help you what types of command is called DDL, data definition language. So data definition language means that commands which will give you the creating data definition commands. And data manipulation means if I want to insert something, if I want to update, delete, change, all those commands are come here. So we will learn all these commands which is listed on the screen. And while we are using those commands, inside the commands to compare, we need to use between, like, in, and some mathematical aggregated functions. Give me a second. Hello. জি বলেন। আচ্ছা, আমি যখন ফ্রি থাকি তখন আমি জবলুকে ফোন দিয়ে এটা করে নিব। আমি এখন অনলাইন ক্লাসে আছি, হ্যাঁ? জবলুকে বলেন যে আমি হয়তো কালকে কোনো এক সময় করে নিব বা আজকেও করতে পারি। ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ। ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। So on the screen you can see a database. There is a table. There is a database which contains 5 different tables. One table name is customer, another one is invoice, another one is line, another one is product, another one is vendor. And all these tables, we have a key field and some non-key field. We'll talk more about key field and non-key field very soon. So this is the design or architecture of a database. We'll learn in future. If I have this, if I need which data contains into the database, to extract those database, we need to use the command SQL. Also, if I want to create these tables into the software, we need to use the database SQL language. So if I learn SQL language properly, and if anyone give me in the notebook or in the screen, whatever the design or diagram is given, it is given, we can implement it. We can create a table based on this diagram. So creating a database, that's the first task you will do into the lab class. Your lab class will start very soon, maybe within this week. And in that class, at the very beginning, teacher will show you how to create a table in a database. So creating a database, you will give a name, and then inside you need to create some tables and you need to insert some data. So those things you will practice in the lab. And today we'll discuss about, if I have a table, if I want to extract data, how can I do that? That's the basic command. We'll start within few minutes. Database schema. Schema is the group of database objects, such as we'll create tables, we'll create indexes. So the difference between tables and indexes will come soon. While you create, sorry, you can see the screen. database